What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF. Yes, back with another video, man. Glad to be back. Definitely want to discuss today's topic of the day. Obviously, Terry Stotts just got interviewed by the Lakers, former Portland Trailblazers head coach, and other rumors as well we got to touch on. I thought it'd be a perfect time to drop a video right now. The playoffs are going on, so I understand if you guys are watching that, always come back and watch the video later. Plenty of good information to be discussed here on the channel. All right. What do I think of Terry Stotts? I think he's a very passionate coach. I mean, that's the best I can do for him. Obviously, it didn't work out in Portland for a reason, and if it didn't work out in Portland, what makes us think that it will work out here in Los Angeles, where the lights are brighter and there's that much more pressure? Not exactly sure this is a good hiring, or even an interview, but I do like that they're doing their due diligence, trying different things. Look. We heard the rumors earlier this week that they will go after Adrian Griffin, from the Orlando Magic, I believe, assistant coach. No. What team is he for? Is he with the Raptors? I lost track. I think he's with the Raptors. My bad. But my thing is, guys, the Lakers are like I suspected. A lot of the names that were at the top of our list to end the season haven't been the names that have been interviewed. We heard about Darvin Ham. Now we hear about, asking for permission for Adrian Griffin. And now we just interviewed Terry Stotts, who a lot of people didn't even have on their radar. So, but hopefully you guys are doing good. What do you guys think of the whole Terry Stotts situation? For me, I'm not too sold on it. I do like his passion. He's a very passionate coach. That's the only good thing. But outside of that, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, he couldn't, and not that Portland had the pieces or whatever, but I always felt like they underachieved there with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum and Nurkic and whoever else they had along the way, personally. But what do you guys think? He said, what up, DTLF? Best show on Laker Nations for life. Doing good, man. Just trying to weather all the different little rumors and all the little things that are coming in and just some are annoying, but some are realistic. This one, obviously, I had to talk about is something legit that just happened. He said, I don't like this hiring. Get Mark Jackson. By the way, Mark Jackson is a finalist for the Sacramento Kings job. And we're hearing that Darvin Ham is one of the finalists for the Charlotte Hornets job. So hopefully we don't get a repeat of what happened when we hired Frank Vogel and we end up getting the leftovers. That's my biggest fear as a Laker fan. I want us to get I want us to be at the top of the food chain, get the best of the best, and have our first pick of the litter. That's just me. He said, bring home Dame 2. Screw it. Terry, you're going to throw up Chapito? Hey, it's bad. Listen, Terry Stotts is not a bad coach per se, but he doesn't move the needle for me. Is it that much of an upgrade from Frank Vogel to Terry Stotts? I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you. His play style, again, is going to depend on the roster, but we need a coach that could just command whatever roster we have and somebody who's going to come with the X's and O's and not be afraid of the limelight. Is that Terry Stotts? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm leaning towards that either. Look how slow they're moving on the interviews. That is a good point, Bridget. I would wish that we were a bit more swift. That way we can start gaining traction on what direction the Lakers are going to take this summer. But you know what? I'd rather them take their time with it than to make a premature decision. However, you do have a good point, Bridget. I'm not sure if they take too long and they whiff on all these coaching interviews and everything, they're going to end up going elsewhere. So I do see your point and your concern. I share the same concern. The Lakers have interviewed Mark Jackson, just came out. Look, man, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you something about this. If the Lakers interviewed Mark Jackson, I'd be excited about it because I think it's a good interview. It's something they should definitely. Okay, you're absolutely right. Wow. That's great news. Thank you for helping me. Now the headline on this video is going to change. Let me remove this one because I actually want to talk about Mark Jackson over Terry Stotts. Shout out to you guys for breaking it to me. Usually I break it to you guys, but it happened while I was live. So according to Shams, the Los Angeles Lakers have just interviewed former Golden State Warrior coach Mark Jackson for the head coaching job. Let's go. All right, now we're talking. All right, now I'm excited. This is exactly the type of news I needed to hear today. Mark Jackson's our guy. All right, I'm gonna say it right now. If we can, now, it's a good thing we did it before somebody else uh, adds him to their roster, because now maybe he'll have the choice between us and the Kings. I think it would be a no brainer if we offer him the job. He'll take it over the Kings, right? Um, but Darvin Ham, a lot of people want Darvin Ham. Mark Jackson, somebody I really want. He's at the top of my list, and I'm just happy they gave him the opportunity. So shout out to the Lakers for doing the due diligence and giving people opportunity. That's what we're all about. That's what the Lakers organization is all about. Now, I want to see in the chat what y'all think about this, man. I'm gonna start reading some comments because y'all know how I feel. I did a whole video of why we should hire Mark Jackson. I've been gushing about Mark Jackson even before we fired Frank Vogel. He was a name that instantly pops up in my head. So, what does Laker Nation think of Mark Jackson? I know they're split. Half of Laker Nation doesn't like him for whatever reason, and the other half is with me on that. So I want to know right now from everybody who you guys have heard rumored with the Lakers, who do you like? I put up something like this earlier on Twitter. A lot of people like Quinn Snyder, obviously Nick Nurse, names like that. But Mark Jackson is at the top of my list. What do you guys think? I love Mark Jackson. We need Melo back. We need Mark Jackson. There you go. Yes, Mark Jackson. Bridget says, yes, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson is that guy. But y'all want him gone, so I'm with y'all on that. What are we talking about? Russ? Are we talking about Russ or Mark? Yes, I'm with Mark Jackson. All right, so a lot of you guys are with the program. That is what's up. Because I think, again, if you guys haven't seen my video on why I feel, and not only me, but Steph and Dre feel like Mark would be perfect for the Lakers, definitely go check that out. It's I think I dropped it like a month ago, but it's well worth the watch, man. It's something I've been harping on for years. He definitely deserves a job. I'm happy the man is at least getting opportunities. That's a win in itself. So big dubs for everybody, including our Lakers who just gave him the interview, for giving him an opportunity. This guy has been blackballed long enough, and he definitely deserves that opportunity, man. And I'm glad I'm here live breaking the news with you guys as it happens. Mark Jackson's my pick, and even over Luke Walton. Luke Walton, stop it, man. That is definitely a troll comment. He said, to be honest with you, I like Ham too, though. I mean, I don't mind Darvin Ham. Look, the league has had incredible success at grooming assistant coaches in winning systems, and then them going out and making a success for himself. I mean, look at Ime Udoka. I mean, there's been plenty of assistants that have taken that next level step. So, yeah, you put in the work, you deserve the opportunity. I mean, look at Monty Williams, et cetera, right? But, yeah, this just brightened up my day. I can't even cap, guys. Mark Jackson just even getting an opportunity. His name even been thrown in the hat is going to make me lose some sleep, because now I hope to wake up to the news, breaking news, Lakers hire Mark Jackson. Then you really see me celebrate on the live stream with y'all. But for now, I'm very satisfied with the coaching process. I think this front office definitely is starting to turn a corner as far as what the public thinks they're doing versus what they're doing. And let's hope for the best. Billy, my boy, said Mark Jackson all the way. Yes, sir. I'm curious how the rotations will be. Well, Mark Jackson don't play. Trust me, he's going to use every advantage he has. It's something I've seen from him. Great at player development, and he's also a preacher, so he's going to sell the product. I know LeBron and AD have already vouched for him, so I think it would be a win on all fronts with Mark. He's exactly the type of personality we need. He's old school. I understand that a lot of people have concerns about evolving to the new school offensive system. But look at the teams that are competing, man. A lot of these teams are going with their size. They're using their wing depth and their rotations to the max. I think that's what Mark Jackson brings to the table, to be honest with you. I'm tired of all this new school copycat league. Everybody wants to shoot threes. Nobody wants to rebound, box out, and do the dirty work. With Mark Jackson, I guarantee you he's going to play whoever actually earns the opportunity. If that's Austin Reeves, so be it. If that's Avery Bradley, so be it. If that's Malik Monk, THT, LeBron, whoever it is, that plays the hardest for Mark, that is who Mark will believe in and go with, And so, yes, I'd love him. But for now, it's still just a scenario, right? It's still just a scenario for now. But I'm with you. Mark is my guy too. He deserves a job. Mark will play big when need rotations will be superior under him. I agree with all that. He said Mark Jackson will mold Reeves, Monk, and THT into young stars. That is the dream scenario. Now, it's no guarantee any young player becomes a young star, but as long as they maximize their potential to the best of their abilities, and I think Mark would do that, I hope, that he keeps this next topic on board. Phil Handy. Now, apparently, Phil Handy is ready for a head coaching gig. All right, he just mentioned how he's ready to take the next step. And I was just going to ask you guys this about Phil Handy. Would you guys like to see him as a head coach, assuming we don't get Mark or any of these other names? Or is it still premature, and would you like to keep him in a player development role? Now, if it's up to me, I'm hiring Mark Jackson, and I'm holding on to this guy as a player development coach. Yeah, I think he's phenomenal. He might be the best in the league at that. All right. Now, if we can get somebody who can believe in these youngsters and somebody who could develop them, I think that's a win-win for both parties. You know, and what I mean by that is Mark Jackson obviously would believe, give them the green light, and let them flourish and install that confidence in them. And then obviously Phil Handy works off the court with them, and little pointers here and there. He said, if we hire him, I'd be so excited, but also I miss his commentary. If he gets hired, mama, there goes that man, hand down, man down. He's a legend for sure. But just like we like his commentary, the players will definitely like having him in the locker room. To your point, Chapito, because Mark Jackson is that guy. You can clearly tell he knows basketball when he talks basketball. Now, there has been times he shitted on my Lakers, but sometimes it's been warranted, sometimes it hasn't. But I can guarantee you, he's no Reggie Miller. He's definitely doesn't annoy me. Like, I actually like him and Mike Breen, the best when they commentate together. That team is classic. So yeah, we're gonna miss him there, but we definitely gonna have him at the helm, which is exactly where I want him. Do you think Phil Handy would want to be an assistant coach again? He probably wants to be full-on coach right now. You know what? I think if nobody offers him that position, then we may be able to hold on to him for maybe a year, maybe two more max, but eventually he will spread his wings and grow. But for now, I just love to hold on to him. As long as we got LeBron here, I think there's a high chance of that. He was with LeBron in Cleveland as well. But if somebody just comes out of the woodworks and offers him the head coaching job, or at least an interview, then he might leave us. Unfortunately, but I wish him the best. I mean, Phil Handy's an excellent coach. He definitely knows the game of basketball. You could tell. I mean, he's somebody players like to be around as well. Just a great guy. So I wish him the best. But I do hope, the selfish side of me wants him to stay here. Now, again, right back to Phil Handy. Is he ready for the head coaching gig? That is the question, and I want to know what you guys think about that. Would you be okay with him getting an interview with the Lakers and maybe even winning that interview with the Lakers? I think I'd be okay with it. Is he my favorite? Not necessarily, because I like to keep him in his role, but you just never know. What if he ends up being that next guy, that makes a name for himself and carves out a niche in this league as a head coach? Could be that guy. Maybe we're suppressing his potential. You just never know. Dan, thoughts about getting Damian Jones? I'll bring him back. Yeah, as a role player, as a backup big, I think he would be excellent. And I'm going to drop a top free agents video that we should pursue as we approach free agency, as it becomes more relevant. But for now, I think we should focus on this head coaching, topic of conversation, because it's super interesting. And we got other topics to cover as well. I mean, how about this one right here? Obviously, Kyrie to the Lakers has been discussed, right? They're midway through the season or something like that. So I think it's interesting because, you know what? This is something I had mentioned as a scenario, and a lot of people thought I was crazy. Like, no, Dan, you're crazy. Kyrie would never play with LeBron, blah, 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 blah. Okay, winning cures everything. All right, and this is still a scenario that I think could happen. If we hire Mark Jackson, I think that'll even help, because he's a very spiritual individual, and I think he will connect with Kyrie, believe it or not. As stubborn as they both are, I think sometimes game recognizes game. And so if Kyrie, for some reason, doesn't get the extension he wants and wants to get traded, maybe the Lakers becomes a destination. Maybe some sort of deal between him and Russell Westbrook might work, because think about it. Russell Westbrook skill set is that he's durable. He doesn't get injured very often. He's a warrior. He's ready for play anytime. That is the opposite of Kyrie. Clearly, Kyrie has gone through little diva moments. Clearly, Kyrie wasn't available all season long, and maybe the Nets don't want to give him the big bucks. Would you, as a Laker fan, welcome Kyrie for Russell Westbrook? Because I know I would. Just to see that pairing between AD, LeBron, and Kyrie, I think would be lethal if they all stay healthy and they play consistent minutes and we hire the right coach, Mark Jackson. So, do you guys agree that Kyrie would be worth the headache to acquire if we can keep that trio together and add the right key pieces along the way. That's the next topic I wanted to discuss. I know a lot of you guys don't like Kyrie Irving. Trust me, y'all tweeted it out to me already in the past. But personally, me, I'm a big fan of his. If he could just stay on the court and focus on his game, it would be insane. Terry Stotts, thumbs up. You like Terry Stotts? Whoa, okay. We got somebody who likes it. Kyrie is a straight up dumb. I don't think he's dumb. I think he's misunderstood, and he's an easy target for hatred because people tend to hate what they don't understand, or what they fear, or what they don't get. So I don't know, man. He said, "Man, Kyrie, LeBron, and AD, that's tough." I think it would be a dream come true, especially under Mark Jackson. I think they would all fall in line. I think they would buy into their role, Mark being the ultimate preacher, and I think the role players would. Maybe they wouldn't flourish right away, clearly, because Kyrie is an ISO player and he needs to get his. LeBron gets his, but he makes as well, and AD will need to get his. But I'm just throwing it out there since the rumor just came out that the Lakers were already considering Kyrie in a trade last season. So that's the only reason I'm bringing it up. You said, Dan, should we pursue Victor Oladipo? I like him, but man, he's been injured lately in his career. So do we need to pursue more players that are injury prone? I'm not sure about that, man. We already suffered enough with older players. If anything, I think we need to pursue youth. And again, I will be dropping a free agency video at some point, maybe a week before free agency, just to discuss who I would pursue and who you guys think we should pursue as well. But I'm excited that the Lakers interviewed Mark Jackson. It's something I always wanted. I've been clamoring for this for years. Even the last time we were searching for a coach after we fired Luke Walton, Mark Jackson was a name, if you go back and watch my old videos, that I kept mentioning, and a lot of you guys mentioned as well. Kyrie do not like Bron, and KD don't want Russ. Won't happen. You never know, Bridget. In a perfect world, winning cures everything. That's the way I see things. I've seen relationships be mended like this. I mean, who would have thought that Andre Drummond and Joel Embiid would share the court together? They disliked each other. So winning cures everything. And let's not forget, Kyrie already apologized to LeBron James for not understanding his leadership role back in those Cleveland days. So I keep an open mind to all this stuff. I'm not saying it'll happen. It's not likely to happen, but you just never know. I mean, Rob Pelinka has been known to come out of left field with some crazy moves we didn't expect. I mean, Montrezl Harrell, stuff like that. So what y'all got to realize is Kyrie and LeBron already won a championship together. Kyrie needs LeBron just like LeBron needs Kyrie. Now, I think Kyrie needs LeBron more than, and as big as a Kyrie fan I am, I'm a realist, man. Trust me, Kyrie needs LeBron way more than LeBron needs Kyrie. LeBron can plug in any solid guard there and make it happen and make it work. Trust on that. But Kyrie definitely, I'll say this, as much as I like him, he's an ISO god. He's such a beast. Probably my favorite handles all time alongside Allen Iverson. But is he really a leader? Because it doesn't seem to be that way. He couldn't lead the young Boston Celtics when he was there. And obviously his leadership qualities haven't really shined in Brooklyn. So it tells you that LeBron has always been the leader, which we already knew. And, I think Kyrie makes an awesome Robin on a team. Heck, he might make a badass Alfred on this team because we know who the Robin is on the Lakers, and that's Anthony Davis. So we might need an Alfred or whatever you want to say. But bottom line is, look, listen, Lakers are trying to make moves, and I respect it. I respect the fact that they're scouring left and right. They're trying assistant coaches, head coaches, and even coaches that haven't been in the league for years. They're trying everything, hoping to get an interview that blows them away. I really hope Mark Jackson did the trick because I would be ecstatic. But if it's not him, Darvin Ham has my blessing. Who else? Darvin Ham will probably be my second favorite out of the names that have been mentioned already. No other realistic names have been mentioned right now. Obviously, Terry Stotts is not high on my priority list. I already said why. But that's my pecking order. I have Mark Jackson, Darvin Ham second, and then depending on what other names come out of the woodworks, then we'll go from there. But yeah, I don't want a C tier coach because that's what I feel like Frank Vogel was. I feel like he wasn't even an A or B tier coach. I feel like he was a C tier coach, and he got the job done in the bubble. But after that, it all fell apart. So let's hope that we can get an A or a B tier coach at least. Personally, he said no Phil Jackson. Well, Phil Jackson is fulfilling his role as an advisor. It looks like. So yeah, it doesn't look like he'll be coming out of retirement to coach anytime. So, he said Laker fans, it's Dame time. Now imagine that. Imagine if the only reason they hired Terry Stotts is to, lure Damian Lillard. Listen, there's always backdoor deals. Maybe LeBron's already recruited Dame, but Dame wants to have a say on who the coach is. You just never know with these things. The NBA is always a soap opera. Regular season, off-season, playoffs, it don't matter. The Lakers dominating the headlines. Talking about that, Kendrick Perkins, man, I gotta ask him this. What is wrong with this man? He goes on live TV and says the most outlandish things. Now, sometimes he's on point, but even a broken clock can be right twice a day, right? That's what they say. Well, Kendrick Perkins recently went on, well, I think it was today, right? Somebody sent me the clip. He went on First Take and he said that the Lakers should consider trading. And I love Kyrie. It's nothing against Kyrie. But no, the best they get for Kyrie is Russell Westbrook. He said we should consider trading AD for Kyrie, which is stupid. Everybody knows you don't trade an elite big man for an elite guard. There's a dime a dozen of those guards all around the league. I mean, elite bigs don't grow on trees. I don't care how injured he's been or whatever. I mean, not to mention, we'd be stuck with Russell Westbrook still and Kyrie, who basically play the same position, and we wouldn't have a big man if we made that trade. So I don't know what's wrong with Kendrick Perkins, man, but I got to say this. They're hiring just anybody who used to be an NBA player or just anybody nowadays on ESPN. Call me up, ESPN, if y'all want some real basketball analysis, all bias aside. Although I will admit I'm a little biased when it comes to the Lakers. But outside of that, some atrocious takes going on over there. Shout out to JJ Redick. He's holding it down. And I'm not surprised. He's an NBA player for a reason. He used to be an NBA player. He knows the game. So they should hire more people like that and less people like Kendrick Perkins, even though he is also an ex-NBA player. One of the best defenses in the league who scores at a high rate for Kyrie is a joke. Now, listen, though. You cannot tell me that putting Kyrie Irving back on the same floor as LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they've never had that type of trio before. This would really be a big three. Not like last year with the poor excuse of Russell Westbrook. If that happens, man, I'm willing to go all in. I believe in it. Not only because Kyrie's one of my favorite players and I love his play style, but like I said, if they get a Mark Jackson type coach, he can make everybody fall in line. He can make everybody buy in. If he got the respect of a young Draymond Green, we're talking about a young Draymond Green, not even a veteran, much more savvy, much more settled down Draymond Green. This is him at the epitome of his cockiness, at the epitome of his. He got the respect. Mark Jackson got the respect of Draymond and everybody else, Clay and Curry. He can do the same for Kyrie. Clearly, LeBron's a fan. Clearly, AD's a fan. So, if the Lakers play their cards right, they could have the holy grail this offseason. And again, it doesn't have to be Kyrie. It could be somebody else. But at the end of the day, I just want them to put together the right pieces around LeBron and Anthony Davis for at least one final run, guys. Rumor has it LeBron might not sign with us an extension. So this might be his farewell tour for the Lakers, right? But how about we go out with a bang and get championship number 18, then really would put a stamp on his GOAT status. I'm just saying, if LeBron wins 2 championships here in LA, I give it up to him. All right. He's a universal GOAT. Still not my GOAT. Y'all know who my GOAT is, right? But universally, he will be known as a GOAT, and I will not argue it. That's all I will say. If he wins one more championship for my Lakers, that's how I feel about that. Now, because not only will he have the broken records, right? Probably, I mean, he's for sure going to get the scoring record, barring any crazy injuries, knock on wood, But not only will he have the broken records, but he'll be a 5-time champ for 3 different organizations, and he'll have won 2 championships for 2 different organizations. That is really hard to beat. Even Jordan's record compared to that is going to be, 1A, 1B. Pick your poison. But bottom line is, I really want this to happen. I want LeBron to break the records under the Lakers. I want LeBron to win another championship for the Lakers. And not only that, LeBron would be elevating this franchise to the winningest team of all time. Now that is what you call a king's ransom, right? That's what I'm saying. And I'm a Laker fan before anything, but man, if LeBron rides off into the sunset with 5 championships, the scoring title, the assist title, all these broken records, and he put the best franchise on top before he left, that's all I got to say, man. Just praise, all hail King James if that happens, all right? I'm a witness if that happens. And I'm already a LeBron fan, trust, for the moment he got here. But I'm just saying, man, that'll really put the stamp on it for me personally. That's how I feel. Is I miss Lakers basketball? I do too, brother. I definitely miss Laker basketball, but it's been, second round hasn't been as exciting as the first round, but we just got the Sparks up and running. And I've actually been considering covering the Sparks, here and there. Not as obviously not as dedicated as the Lakers, but covering the Sparks here and there. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know in the comment section after this video post. I think it would be dope. I do pre and post just like for the Lakers. And I think we need to help these gifted, talented athletes, these females, grow their sport. Now, I think my enthusiasm will be perfect for that. And but it's up to you guys, man. This is the Laker channel first. Let me know if y'all think I should do that here or my second channel, Prime Time. I mean, whatever you guys think. I'm the people's champ, so you guys vote for it. I'll probably put up a poll on Twitter as well. So he said, if we get part-time Kyrie, hell no. Nope. Listen, I'm gonna say one thing to you. I'd rather get a part-time Kyrie than a full-time Russell Westbrook. All right, now holler if you hear me, bro. But that's an amen right there. I'd rather get a part-time Kyrie than a full-time Russell Westbrook, and that's the bottom line at the end of the day. Mark Jackson, please. Who's your GOAT? Kobe Bryant will always be my GOAT. Forget about the numbers. Forget about the stats. I saw his whole career and his drive, passion, footwork, and he just meant more to me in life and to Laker fans in life than is bigger than basketball at this point. I mean, he is the basketball version of Bruce Lee. He is the basketball version of Michael Jackson. He is the GOAT, no matter how you slice it up. The impact he had on the game is bigger than Michael Jordan's. Especially he went out, the way he went out, guys, and as just such a great individual, he left his mark forever. So he's always going to be my GOAT no matter what. Forget about the numbers. Throw those out the window. I mean, Jordan could be your GOAT. I will not debate it. LeBron could be your GOAT. I won't debate it. Kareem, Magic, whatever. Just don't say Larry Bird because then we fighting. But everything else, I respect it, man. Yes, put Kobe on the logo. Jerry West lost too many times in the finals to be in the damn NBA basketball. All right? Kobe Bryant, 5-1. No, 5-2 in the finals. 5-2. I forgot about the Detroit Pistons. But put this man on a basketball. His impact is huge. Dan, what about Westbrook and AD for Chris Paul and Ayton? That is a hard. Well, it's hard to say no to that because clearly Westbrook is a huge Chris Paul's a huge upgrade to Westbrook, but Ayton, as much as I like him, there's a drop off there between AD and DeAndre Ayton. I'd rather hold on to. And then Chris Paul's one injury away, man. And I hate to put that kind of prediction on somebody, but literally, he's always getting injured. For his sake, I hope he stays healthy for the whole playoffs. But he's always getting injured at some point. I wouldn't be shocked if it happens again. Not doing that. As much as I dislike Westbrook, but yeah, AD is worth more than that. And I told you guys, there's very few players I'm trading Anthony Davis for. I told you guys before Karl Anthony Towns struggled. I said Karl Anthony Towns would have to. The only way I would do it for Karl Towns would be if AD requests a trade, and then they throw in something else on top of Karl Towns. Give me, I don't know, D-Lo and a first-round pick. I don't know, because 1-for-1, I'm not doing it, bro. I've already said it. He said, Petty Jerry should have never been the logo. Now, it's not to hate on Jerry West. Listen, we respect the legend that is Jerry West. The show is not going to change my opinion. Like I said, it's objective. All right, we all have an asshole side. Even the nicest guy, believe it or not, he might not show it to you, but he has an asshole side. Everybody does. You need it sometimes to survive in life. So I don't have nothing against Jerry for whatever happened in the show and all that. Okay, that's cool. We can all be assholes. But my only concern with him is, why make it such a gripe? We get it. It's dramatized, the show. It doesn't make him look any better. But still, legends will always, as Laker fans, we always have to be grateful for what legends done, no matter what happens after they left their legacy. You know what I mean? No matter if he joined the Clippers, as much as I dislike the Clippers, I still respect Jerry. No matter what, these are legends. I mean, we would have had no Kobe without Jerry West. We would have had Pau Gasol without Jerry West. So, believe it or not, even though he won a championship for the Lakers, his biggest legacy was hand-delivering Kobe Bryant to us from the Charlotte Hornets. It will always be his biggest legacy. He said, Dan, broadcast you guys playing basketball again? It's really hard, man, because my friends have multiple jobs and stuff. It's really hard for us to get the timing right. I haven't even hooped with him in over a month. So I'm trying to fix that up because obviously the second channel needs to take off. Shout out to Primetime. Go ahead and subscribe. Primetime Space DTLF. Content is coming. Summer hasn't officially kicked off, but as soon as it does, content is coming. So subscribe. But I'm just trying to get everything lined up. And if I end up not hooping with my homies because they got 2-3 jobs, then I'll hoop with randoms. I don't care. But content is coming. So stay tuned for that. He said, the best deal for the Lake Show is the Indiana deal. Are we talking about the Russell Westbrook one? Oh, by the way, talking about trades, and I'm glad you brought this up because I do want to talk about this. All right, Bleacher Reports is at it again with some crazy talk. I didn't even read their article. That's how crazy the talk is. But according to them, these are our top 3 targets in the 2022 offseason. All right, tell me what you guys think about this. Target number 1, Malcolm Brogdon from the Indiana Pacers. Now, I love the kid, but he's been injured. So is he our number 1 target? No. Would I mind a trade for him? I wouldn't mind it because obviously if we have to unload Russell Westbrook, then at least we get some potential back. Option number 2, Eric Gordon. Now, who in the hell wants Eric Gordon? I'm sorry. No disrespect to EG. He was great early in his career and all that. As a role player, he's been phenomenal. But he's old, man. We don't need to get older. We need to get younger. This guy's old. Can he shoot? Sure, he can shoot. I mean, new career high for him, 47.5% from beyond the arc. Oh, no, that's a field goal percentage. My bad. 42% from beyond the arc. Still pretty high. So am I turning that down? Absolutely not. But if I can get Malik Monk back, happy with that. You know, I don't want Eric Gordon on a bloated deal. I'll pass. Option number 3, and this is the most hysterical one. Gordon Hayward. According to Bleacher Report, Gordon Hayward is in the top 3 targets we should target this summer. Now, I'm not sure if Bleacher Report watches Laker games or they just hate us. But why in the hell is there not a single big in that chart? We clearly suffered from size problems last season. I think we should have started this chart with a big. I don't care what big it is. Could have been a role player. Could have been anything. But all they're putting on there is guards. And I don't think we suffered from guard play last season. At least personally. Offensively, we were fine. Defensively, maybe we could have improved. But maybe another wing would have been nice. Maybe a big man. I don't know. Bleacher Reports is on some funny stuff, man. I truly, firmly believe that it's either a Clipper fan typing up those articles or a Celtics fan because they hate us, man. There's no way in hell they really thought those are the top 3 targets. Gordon Hayward, come on, man. Why in the hell are we trying to target another Lil Dang? Like, no, stop it. But I just think it's hilarious, man. Bleacher Report's always coming with the funny little clickbait content, and it's always the Lakers at the forefront. But it is what it is, man. He said, I see you keeping up the streams, bro, tuning in from work. Had to. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, bro. Little bro right there, Cyrus. Hey, listen, by the way, I asked you guys, this is the people's channel, so I asked you guys, right? If you guys want more content, I could pop up and do some Sparks games here and there. But I know some of you guys aren't fans of it, but let's say it's going to be interesting this year. I mean, they got Liz Cumberbatch, all right, to add with Nneka Ogwumike and Chimmy Ogwumike. I mean, the Sparks going to be firing this year. If y'all don't know who that is, Google them, all right? But if y'all don't want the content here, then I might either not do it here on this channel or not do it at all. I might do it in the second channel, but I got other content going over there. So I want y'all to drop in the comment section. Just either type in yes, do Sparks games, or no, not interested. Keep it Lakers strictly. And I will respect whatever the votes say, man, because it's y'all channel as well as it is mine. So let me know in the comment sections, guys, after this video post, because I to be honest with you, man, I read the comments during the live stream, but I never go back and read the live comments. There's just too many of them. I would have to watch the whole video over again. So make sure that you post it. Whatever your answer is, post it in the post video comment section, or you can follow me on Twitter. You see my information down below at Dan the Lakers Fan, and then I will put up a poll there. So just let me know, guys. Definitely interested in what you guys want. He said, you pulled up, Dan. What you think about Mark Jackson getting interviewed? Bro, I'm hyped about that. That is good, man. That is amazing. I think the Lakers would be the biggest winners in the offseason as far as hiring coaches if we give this man a shot. I think he's going to be the ultimate prize. I really do. And I hope that the Lakers actually consider this seriously. I hope this is not like an afterthought type of interview just to, make the fan base happy. So let's see. We're going to hear over the next couple of days if there's a real possibility. But I already heard that he's a finalist candidate for the Kings. So, I mean, we interviewed 2 coaches today, Mark Jackson and Terry Stotts. Who do you guys like? Who do you guys like best? Very curious who you guys like best. And you guys know how I stand on this. You definitely do. Any final questions before I get off, guys? That's going to wrap it up for this video. Really quick before I get off. Shout out to my sponsor, Prize Picks. Y'all been phenomenal, man, with the support. Typing in promo code DTLF. Thank you guys for everybody who signed up. And hopefully you guys are winning during the playoffs because, again, the playoffs are a lot easier to predict than regular season. All right. You know, if it's a defensive game, you go under. If it's an offensive team or players, you go over. So he said, Kyrie Irving come join LeBron and the Lakers team. That would be, under the right coach, that would be great. Now, we got to make sure we don't have like a Terry Stotts if Kyrie comes over, because Kyrie will walk all over a Terry Stotts, all right? It needs to be a coach he can respect. He used to respect Tyronn Lue once upon a time. So a coach like that, I think Mark Jackson fits the bill. He said, how come Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley never considered? Those guys are great analysts. Like, here's the thing. To be a head coach, man, is different than just knowing the game. All right. I know the game of basketball, but I don't think I'd ever want to be a coach. Not even that I'm qualified, but if I was, that's not what I'm interested in. I think I'd be more useful to an organization as a talent scout or maybe some sort of an insider, some sort of a person that gives advice. But, you know, you got to know that Charles Barkley and those guys aren't really coach material. And I'm not saying they couldn't coach, because they probably could, but successfully. There's a difference between the ability to coach and the ability to be a successful coach with a lot of patience. That's the number one thing for coaching. You got to have patience. You can't blow up on your team every other game. All right. Leave that to the fans. That's what we do. But, you know, I think those guys are perfect on TNT. They're never going to, you know, get off of that seat. So, and nor should they. They get paid the big bucks and they entertain us. So that's what it's all about, man. But I'm not knocking their knowledge of the game or nothing like that. It's just apples to oranges. You know, coaching and analyst, completely different things. The players have to respect the coach. Yes, absolutely. That is key number one, guys. You get somebody with a backbone and some spine, and I think it'll be A1